The popularity of sneakers comes and goes in cycles, and with the pace of how fast we consume content nowadays, it may really feel like these cycles are moving faster than ever. Well, in this video, I'm gonna help you get ready for the year by breaking down what I feel will be some of the biggest trends we see in sneakers, which will hopefully not only elevate your sneaker game, but will also be somewhat of a reflection of the current state of sneaker culture. So earlier this week, I asked you guys on my Instagram, what did you think would be some of the biggest trends we see in sneakers this year? And you guys absolutely killed it. In fact, I actually agreed with a lot of your takes. So let's get to it. Now, one of the most popular takes I saw, and this I completely agree with, is that Asics will continue to be the fastest growing brand in sneakers this year. Last year, a lot of sneaker publications, and myself included, named Asics the sneaker brand of the year. And for good reason. Not only was it the most successful financial year for the brand, we can also say that in 2023, Asics became cool. What used to be known as a dad shoe brand quickly became quite mainstream, as models like the Gel Cayano 14, the Gel NYC, and the Gel 1130s fueled the rise of the brand. Also, some notable collaborations with key contributors like Hall Studios, Awake New York, and even Hidden New York gave us some of the best sneakers of the year, and in 2024, I think that momentum is just going to continue. And I say that for a couple of reasons. Now, last year, even though Asics did have a very solid year, we haven't come close yet to hitting the peak of this cycle. When you think of some recent sneaker cycles like the Nike Dunk and also the New Balance 550s, with those shoes, it got to a point where every time I would go outside, I would see like 5 out of 10 people wearing those sneakers. And that's definitely not happened with Asics just yet. Second, the current fashion trend of people preferring 90s style fashion and Y2K fashion, that isn't going away anytime soon, and no other brand plays better into that than Asics. We've even seen some other brands like Nike try to catch up with Asics by putting out their own versions of Y2K style shoes. We saw Nike drop the V2K recently, which, let's be honest, pretty much looks like an Asics and Nike collab. And lastly, if we look at some of the upcoming Asics sneakers in 2024, yeah, this brand is not slowing down anytime soon. We got the Hidden New York Gel NYC, which already I'm circling as one of my favorite sneakers to drop this year. We have another collab from Hall Studios, this time on the Gel Cayano 20. All of these sneakers look absolutely fire. I completely agree with you guys. I don't see Asics going away anytime soon, and I still think it will be one of the best brands of 2024. Let's move into the second biggest trend I foresee this year, and that is going to be the rise of colorful sneakers. A quick scan of sneaker YouTube shows you that some of the most popular sneaker videos out there involve lists of the best white sneakers that you can buy. And of course, white sneakers have always and probably forever will be the most popular color on a shoe. But I think that in 2024, the signs are pointing towards colorful sneakers being really popular. We already started to see this last year with the rise of the Adidas Gazelle. More on Adidas a bit later, by the way. And already this year, we're getting a preview of what to expect in 2024 from some of the top sneaker collaborators. First of all, Travis Scott will be dropping a Jordan 1 Low in a canary yellow color. Easily the boldest Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low we've seen so far, and also the first time we've seen him drop a shoe that isn't in his usual earth tones. Also, Action Bronson previewed his 1906R, which is yet again a funky combination of colors, which by now is pretty usual from Action. And check out this upcoming collab with Salehi Bembury on the 1906R. Once again, those colors are loud on both of those shoes, super loud. And it's not just colors. I think people are going to be rocking different patterns this year as well. Last year, of course, leopard print was quite popular, but this year I am predicting snakeskin to make quite a bit of a comeback. I can't remember the name of the collab, but I believe I saw an upcoming New Balance 1906 as well, which will be featuring snakeskin. And we also recently saw it on the Stussy and Nike pairs. I think people will be getting out of their comfort zone a little bit this year and rocking different colors and patterns. Another prediction, which I saw a lot of you guys call out as well, is that Travis Scott sneakers are going to start declining in popularity or even die. It's now been nearly 5 years since we saw the original Jordan 1 Travis Scott, and since then we've pretty much just been getting the same shoe over and over again in different earth tones. I do think that fatigue is starting to set in a little bit, and this upcoming colorway, although I personally like it, I don't think it's going to be as popular as some previous pairs. Also, Travis's upcoming signature shoe, the Cut the Check, I have yet to see a single picture where that shoe looks good. People seem to be flaming that shoe left, right, and center. Also, Travis's most recent collab on the Cactus Mac was actually his lowest reselling shoe shoe in quite a long time. However, I'm definitely not going to say that Travis Scott sneakers are going to die, because that's a bit of an overstatement. They still are going to sell out. They're not going to be sitting on shelves. Yes, I don't think resale will be as high as it was before, but even if a shoe is reselling for $400 to $500, that's still a lot of money, especially today when sneakers don't really resell for all that much. So while I don't think that Travis Scott shoes are going to be as popular as before, I think it's way too early to say that they're going to die. For the next sneaker prediction, let's talk about the resale market. We all saw that last year the sneaker resale market really tanked and most new sneakers were pretty easy to get, and I think that that will continue in an even bigger way this year with just how high the price of everyday essentials have become due to inflation. Of course, people have less and less money to spend on things they don't really need, like a new pair of kicks. As a sneaker YouTuber myself, I've noticed the views go down dramatically over the last year, not just on my channel, I'm talking across every sneaker YouTube channel, and that is perfectly normal and expected. So if I could give you guys one piece of advice for this year, it is patience saves pockets. I think this year we will see most sneakers go on sale, and if you wait, you'll be able to get them for at least 30 to 40, 50% off. Even on the resale market, don't ever hit the buy now button anymore. Just put in a bid for whatever low price you want. I think it's very likely that your low bids are gonna get hit this year. That's what happened last year as well. And if you truly like sneakers like myself, then last year was really one of the most enjoyable years ever, because I was able to get whatever I wanted, sometimes even for below retail, and I'm happy that I'll be continuing to do that this year. Next, let's talk about the trendiest brand from last year, and that is Adidas. Undoubtedly, the most popular sneaker of the year last year was the Adidas Samba. It was everywhere as we saw people's preferences change from bulkier models like New Balances and Jordans towards slimmer models and sleeker models like the Samba. In 2024, while I do think that we might have already reached the oversaturation point for the Adidas Samba, because we've already started to see Adidas produce different versions of a Samba, and that for me is the telltale sign that we've crossed the peak. However, I think 2024 will be a year for other Adidas models to become popular, such as the Adidas Special. We have this upcoming collaboration with Size, which is looking very promising. I also think that the Adidas Superstar will bounce back in a big way this year, as it's also an example of a versatile sneaker that looks good with most outfits. I still don't think we are over the Adidas hype yet. We might be starting to get over the Samba hype a bit, but let me hear from you guys. What do you think will happen with Adidas this year? Now, I haven't mentioned the biggest sneaker brand in the world yet, but let's talk about Nike a little bit. I think 2024 is going to be big for the return of some Nike classic retro sneakers, such as the Air Max 180, which for a lot of people is their favorite Air Max shoe. It also looks like 2024 will be the return of the Foamposite, which a lot of people have been waiting on. The Royal colorway will be coming back, as well as that classic Eggplant colorway. We'll also be seeing a modernized version of the Nike Air Pegasus dropping, which looks perfect when you think about today's fashion. The Nike sneaker that I'm actually looking forward to the most is the Air Max Sunder. Those look wild in the best way possible. I don't care which colorway I get, I need one of them. Nike has just such a huge catalog of sneakers to pull from, and I think this year we'll be seeing classic retro models come back to the forefront. And the last sneaker trend I want to talk about is something I've been kind of observing lately. It seems to be that Velcro straps are becoming very popular. We started to see this last year on some Asics models, and this year we already know there's quite a few collabs dropping which feature straps, such as both of those Travis Scott shoes, as well as the Asics Hull Studio this year, which will be done on the Gel Cayano 20. This might be the boldest prediction on the list, but I'm calling 2024 the year of Velcro. Also guys, it does take about 4 to 5 hours to film, edit, and upload a video on YouTube, but it only takes you about 1 second to hit that subscribe button, and I would really appreciate it if you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments some of the biggest sneaker trends that you guys foresee this year. Make sure you're following me on Instagram as well. That's where I am the most active, and also check out my sneaker podcast, The Kickback Pod. The links can be found in the description. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.